We are here experiencing nature's untamed essence in every sense that we can here in Sikkim, in Rangpo, coming to you live once again from the Sikha ground. The first game was an absolute thriller. Today here at the Snowlion T20 League, let's hope the second one lives up to that expectation on a surface that has been spinning. Royal North Brothers will take on Black Eagles. Right now, we head to the toss.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are here in the beautiful landscape of Sikha ground for the Snowlions T20 League, and at the wonderful match coming up as Royal North Brothers takes on the Black Eagles. Here I've got with me the two captains and the match officials, all in readiness. Royal North Eagles will flip the coin. Heads is the call. It has come down as tail, so you have won the toss.
Hello.
So what would you like to do?
I would like to bat first.
Any particular reason?
The wicket looks good. Last two matches we have seen that it's a very good total to bat first. So we are looking at least to cross a mark, at least a 120, 150 will be a very good score in this pitch.
And any changes from the last game?
There's 4 changes in the team. There's one guest player is coming, Aishman Singh and Avi Sharma, Yovan Levcha, and one more, Ronak, MD Ronak. Yeah.
All the best for the game.
Thank you.
So your team will be bowling first. How much of a total are you thinking to restrict the opposition under?
Yeah, as seeing we are trying them to stick within the 130, 120, under 130, 120 plus.
All the best for the game.
Thank you very much.
So that is some news from the center. Black Eagles have won the toss and they've decided to bat first.
I thought that was a fantastic pre-match interview and a call from Black Eagles there. Firstly, to win the toss and bat first, and secondly, to remember all the changes. They've made 4 of them. Quickly wanting to change their fortunes in the tournament, and rightly so. The time for pleasantries of warm-up is gone. Roshan Mahadev got runs, missed out on a half century. Went for a little comfort break when he was around 48, came back and got out straight away. And it's Arif at the non-striker's end. Just going back to the decision made at the toss, ought to be batting first here. 4th innings here might make it really tough. Sandeep Chetri looked phenomenal yesterday. He'll have a different role today. Not just to get the wickets, but to keep a lid on the run, especially for the first few overs. What we saw from Mahadev, his strength comes from just playing touch cricket right at the start. Allows the ball to come to him and looks to middle the ball. That's his kind of batting to begin with. They've got a slip in. Chetri running in. First ball. Mahadev hits that in the air. Gone first ball. Loose shot. He believes he's still batting on 48. He's not. Different game, different bowler, different conditions. That's been floated just outside off. And it's a lazy, lethargic poke. Without any control. Just feeling for it. Good on the backward point fielder. Ensure that judged the ball to perfection. Well, Eagles have lost a bit of flight straight away. Mahadev departs for a duck. Nothing of a delivery, to be honest. Wide, it was swinging away. That's perhaps the only way he could have gotten out, which was by inviting trouble. Having gotten the advantage to win the toss, to go on to bat first and then lose a wicket at the first ball, is to some extent nullifying the advantage that you just got. Sajal Thapa in at 3. He's a left-hander. With this new ball now, no matter how good you are, your defense will be tested. That's why you do repetitions as a batter. So that when you walk out there in a situation like this, your instincts can take over. You're training your instincts so that when the pressure is on, you're just reacting. Third fielder comes inside. Oh, fuller ball, late swing too. Lucky to get an inside half of the bat to that. Excellent from Chetri once again, still floating it up. Looking to make it swing. Experienced campaigner. Knows his job right now is to pick up early wickets. That's what he's done. You'd rather have it caught slip in the scorebook, but they're all wickets. That one kept low and it didn't swing back enough. I wonder at what point of time Sandeep Chetri will consider changing the angle, especially against Sajal. Yes, he's moving the ball back in, but with that bounce, or the lack of it. Another reason why he's not getting it to bounce more is because he's just looking to float it up. At no point of time he's using the fingers to hit the deck. In the air once again, it goes through the gap for 4. The third fielder was brought inside the circle, otherwise that would have been 1, but they don't mind that. Sajal's weight was moving into the shot, which is why he was able to get a connection, but just played it uppishly. Right, that boundary will make Sandeep Chetri add another fielder on the offside. In fact, drop a sweeper back. And bring the short fine leg. Sajal goes deep in the crease and takes that fuller ball onto the bottom of the bat, drives it straight to that extra fielder that was switched from onside. This phase of play has got a test match feel to it. Lovely bit of Yorker, but going down the leg side. Right then, quite fittingly, a dramatic first over. 5 for 1. That's the Eagles side who have made 4 changes today. I'll be hoping their core players still perform. Royal North Brothers sticking to the same team. Jasveer Sherawat single-handedly almost won them that game. Although it was an all-round effort to allow Sherawat to bowl that final over without the left-hander. It will be seam up from the pavilion end as well. In the air, mid-off, valiant effort. Fantastic effort by that fielder. Varinder Singh could have had a wicket of his first ball courtesy to a Rhodes-like leap. Sensational work to get there first. Got two hands to it too. Just the shot had enough venom. And it was always going away. Wonderful time to bring Hrithik back in the box. It's been ever so dramatic. Just following up from that thrilling first game.
Yes, that's been the quality of cricket we have seen, especially most of the matches. They have been hard fought except one. And as a viewer, that's a delight to watch. Again, leaving the batter. Little early on that front foot, but still away from the pitching of the ball. Varinder Singh still trying to shape the ball away from the batter. With that angle, obviously that will be in his mind to target the stumps as well and to surprise the batter in the middle. He just wants to set the batter up for that delivery, and then again, you can see you probably can expect a fuller one onto the stumps. You can see a slip in position, packing the offside. There's one fielder very close off the pitch in that catching position. Very good delivery again. Transfer was on the front foot, then went on the back.
Yeah, that's exactly to confuse the batter in terms of his footwork. Once you have a catching cover, and I'm talking about the new ball specifically. Once you have a catching cover, you're just worried about getting fully forward and going hard at the ball. And that keeps you rooted to the crease, which allows the bowler to then hit a hard length and then beat you for pace. Sliced away. Third fielder does really well to cut the angle. They've been smart so far on the field. And you want that. Opposition wins the toss, puts you in on the field. You want to make it as tough as possible for them to get the runs, especially inside the power play. I remember an incident on a slightly sluggish wicket in Preston. And they had a catching cover on the offside. Me being worried about that, I kept hanging back and kept getting beaten for the hard length just outside off. Whereas I would pride myself for a cut or a square drive or anything of that sort. But just because I wasn't fully sure of my footwork, even if it was there to score, which is what they want, to limit the scoring, you're not too confident. Now, for the right-hander, Sherawat is walking into a very similar position, although they want to change too. And it is Sherawat who's making that change. He's asking fine leg to come inside, have a third fielder back. They are unable to get him. That's why it's taking a while. Right, so nobody down at fine leg. That's basically is the plan. Ask him to shuffle across. And you bowl off stump. He bowls leg stump. There's nobody there. Look at Sherawat where he is. He's looking at the bowler. What have you done? It's 5 wides.
It's almost like a cat and mouse game between these two teams, the way they have operated. Varinder, I think he wanted to target the stump so that if a batter shuffles in, misses out, chances of LBW, but missed out on the line. Keeper gave us 100%, but that was not enough to stop that. 5 runs.
Now they're just doing away with that plan. So it was Sherawat who really wanted to trap him with something. Now they've gone back to a fielder deep on the onside, more of a square leg. That's in the gap for 4. Even after losing that first wicket, Hrithik, because of this particular over, Eagles would like to believe they're doing okay.
And especially in the manner with which they have scored runs. Looking at this shot, probably one of the best you'll see today. Along the ground, through the defenses, on the offside, for 4 runs. And this has turned out to be a very expensive over, 14 runs already.
Organic kind of a drive. Very pure in every sense. That's more of a hack. This is the format to do so. That makes it 3 boundaries on the trot for the Eagles. And they get 18 out of Varinder's first over. 23 for 1.
Yes, with third man being little finer there. A delivery on that line, that full, always will invite the batter to slash hard and will pass the ring field towards the backward point region for 4 runs. 23 for 1 after 2.
Ritik, maybe it's too early to comment on this, but it just looks like there are too many captains out there on the field. Royal North Brothers, I can understand what they're trying to do, but in trying to do so, they're exactly doing what the opposition wants. Is to have different plans. Is not to stick to one simple plan and play safe. Take a look at that. This is the start of another over. Just Sandeep's second over. And they've been changing the field for the last 5 minutes. Eventually, they've settled with a deep point and a fine leg inside the circle, to which Sandeep has an issue with. And he says, I'll have another fielder on the offside. So there is now a point, short third, and a very straighter sweeper just behind the point. And he too bowls down the leg side. So this is absolutely going nowhere for Royal North Brothers.
It's difficult to understand what's the game plan here. Especially with that sort of field set. This was almost like a free hit for Sajal. They have a square leg. As you rightly mentioned, fielder at deep point. You always expect the length to be slightly shorter, if I'm not wrong. But he went fuller, and that too down the leg.
That's what happens when you've got too many plans, Ritik. Stick to the basics. That's your best ball. And no matter what field is set for you, if you can finish within the stumps, on off stump, that works. So if you're confused, bowl your best ball, your stock ball, irrespective, and then perhaps stick to a plan. But yeah, right now they haven't done so. That first over was quiet. They got a wicket in the second over. Suddenly they became a little too confident in terms of picking up another wicket. Driven. That fielder was square, so square that he's now got to put a dive in. And he's stopped 2 more.
Excellent work out there in deep. The fielder saving 2 runs, was timed really well. Have a look. Ball shaping in, curling in. In reply was a very confident drive by the batter. And there you go, full stretch drive, covered the line of the ball while stopping it, and has saved 2 valuable runs. Current run rate 11.14. It's a little slow, and that's in the gap as well. There is a fielder available, so will just be a single. But looking at that run up, I think he was probably not the smoothest on the previous delivery. And that's why you can see probably the ball was not as fast as the batter would have thought.
Yeah, I think he's a little worried about where he's pitching the ball because of the left-right combination here. Just trying to get his alignment right so that he doesn't miss. Not really worried about the pace. But you're right, just the run-up defines everything. Where the ball ends up, where you end up while and after delivering the ball. You can see Mohammed just waiting. Because Royal North Brothers, they just continue to tweak around with the field. Shot just outside off. Still a good ball. With the third fielder back. That length, just that line still works. Even if you're not getting movement out of that.
Yes, they have a third man now. A fielder also at deep sweeper, deep extra cover. So that line can work. It will be much better if it's slightly closer. Change of pace, back of the hand cutter, goes down the leg, will be one more wide. So few extras now already, and we are in the third over.
Again, a delivery that was not warranted. You just pull a length ball just outside off. Everything fine. Got a dot ball out of that. Trying to do too much. That's the template. And he gets one for that, but he's sticking to a plan at least.
And I think in these times, sometimes it becomes very important, either for a senior player or a captain, to just have that conversation going on with the bowler, just to communicate what other plan we are going ahead with, and just to ensure that the bowler is understanding.
Not just the bowler, everybody else on the same page, which is where leadership comes in. That's why I mentioned there are too many captains at this point of time there. Nicely tucked away, not in the gap though, straight to the fielder, which is why they had to really scamper across. Oh, he's perhaps pulled a muscle or something. We hope it's just cramp. It looks like it's just cramp. That's fine. It's going to get better. 3 done, 30 for 1.
एक बार जल्दी आओ यार सारे जल्दी आओ यार गाइस कम ऑन वो फील्ड में आप देख लेना तुम इधर आओ yes.
And I think the player who pulled his hamstring is walking back. Sajal was looking really good. Was run a ball 13. Initially we didn't thought this will be the case that he had to walk out of the field. But he's still limping out here. And I think at the start of the tournament you don't want to take those many chances. You just want to give your players enough time to recover as well. This is just the third day of the tournament. He can probably come back as well. It's retired hurt.
looks worse than what we initially thought it is. Yes, firstly, when he went down, I thought that is just a cramp, but now, just the way he was hoppling across, it looked like it's an hamstring. It's a hamstring, basically. So, and the recovery for those two are entirely different, depending on if you have got a history of hamstring injury or not. Which is why batters really now put in a lot of work in the gym just to make sure that their back, their thighs, their hammies, they're all very stubborn and they can take the high intensity cricket, especially in this heat and the humidity. Once you sweat it out there in the gym, you'd rather be okay here. Can't plan for the external injuries though. As we saw yesterday, a player twisting their ankle, all of that's just bad luck. Right then, bad luck for Varinder for having gone for 18. Can he change it around? I'll tell you what, Ritik, he's not happy with the field that's been given to him. Just hesitated for a bit, looking at the field, what it was. Still bowls a good one, just outside off. That problem with the brothers now persisting.
What could be the field set he wanted? Because at this moment they have third man, they have square leg.
I think he would have wanted a fine leg rather than a square leg for him to then target the stumps, the odd ball, and get it back in. Now with this field, he's not even looking to bowl way outside or not even looking to get him out. Late call to go for a run, non-strikers end. Varinder just let that one go and it's gone through the fielder inside the circle. Brothers are not helping each others. They're leaking runs somehow.
And now on this occasion it was the job of the backup fielder to protect that boundary. He missed out and somehow they have found another set of a boundary. You can say 5 runs on that delivery.
I just wonder if the first leakage came from Varinder himself. I think he was close to the stumps, could have collected the throw. Now he's bowled a no ball. Dear oh dear, is that kind of a play? T20, direct throw, batter is out. Chaotic. Everything that could have happened of that ball has happened. There's somebody else who's injured.
And umpire straight away went with that decision. It was as clear. And Varinder will be very happy. At least he's got a run out before bowling a free hit delivery.
I think it just allows them to get into a huddle, Ritik, and address how mad the last 5-10 minutes they've been. And I hope only one person is doing the talking in that huddle. Because there is a clear lack of leadership out there. And it's showing on the scoreboard. Because of that run out, it has now got them in the driver's seat. But you've got to be careful with the advantage that you've got right now.
So a lot of things happening here in this over. So far it has been very eventful. First one was a dot, then a boundary in the form of overthrows. No ball. Now we are ready with the free hit. Comes down the track. Was a change of pace. Was again a no ball. So the free hit continues. Extras are keep on adding. Anshuman Singh is the new batter, and what a way to welcome him. He'll be really happy to get 2 back-to-back free hit deliveries to open his account. Beg your pardon, it's Mohammed who is on strike. Anshuman is at the non-striker's end.
Picks the change of pace. That's disappearing. Thuds on top of us and rolls along. Back onto the ground. Mohammad unlocks a bit of power in this innings.
Picked up the length very early. It was in the slot as well. He tried to play that similar shot on the previous delivery. It was change of pace, but this time got underneath the ball nicely. And how well he timed the ball. Doesn't look like he has muscled it. Pure timing on that shot. Fuller one again. Some movement in the air. That's why not the best timing, but was enough to get a single. 32 in 10 deliveries.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was unintentional, even in the first over, to be honest. It's a cruel, cruel game. I don't think he's looking at the numbers now. He's worried about how he can pick up wickets and bring them back in this game. What I'm surprised though from Varinder, the kind of a height that he's got, he's hardly tried a short ball. Not even a hard length so far. Everything has been there. Throw towards the keeper. But they get one more. That could be a conscious plan. We want to bowl full with the new ball, but once you've got that kind of a physique, you've got to be able to push the batter back at least once.
I think could be because of the field side as well. There's a square leg available. Again, was there an edge? Yes, there was, but not enough pace to make it carry to the keeper. Finishes off with a dot ball, and after 4, 45 for 2 Eagles.
नाम भाई नाम योर नेम तन्वीश बॉलर चेंज जर्सी नंबर 19 थैंक यू आप जा रहे पीछे अंदर रहेंगे नहीं अंदर अंदर है अंदर अब अंदर रहिए अरे दो ये मिडिल की तो ये हो गया एक दो हो गया इधर आ इधर इधर
Nothing short of action so far. 24 balls that we have seen. Okay, way more than 25. They bowled no balls. Tanvish and 45 runs, couple of wickets. Spin for the first time. And from the right end too. There is a patch right outside the off stump of the right hander. Round about there. That's what they're trying to hit. As spinners, as right arm, left arm spinners. A massive patch just towards the 5th stump area, which is where Tanvish Ramakant is looking to land them. There. And it spins sharply. Lucky. It didn't go through bat pad.
Has almost got a wicket there. Has to be persistent with that area. With slip in position, anything coming in will always be difficult for the batter to adjust to. And they have to pull things back. 46. There's a lot of runs on the board already. Width on offer. Cuts away in the gap. Poor delivery. And rightly so, dispatched for some runs. Mohammad will get another boundary.
Yes, just after the first game, I wanted to understand why exactly they're preferring to bowl spinners from the far end. Which is where I just noticed that if you bowl closer to off stump, that's when you're able to hit that patch. That one was wider. Yes, you do risk yourself to be getting hit straighter towards side screen. But that's a risk you gotta take. That far wide, might not hit the patch and spin viciously.
As so far in these 4 deliveries, one thing has been clearly understood. You have to bowl it slightly closer. Driven towards the fielder. Chance was there, but fielder was not able to collect it, and this was not the difficult of the chances. You will see we have seen way more difficult ones going in that direction.
Yeah, got up quickly. Once you're trying to collect the ball, you got to stay as low as possible for as late as possible, because you can actually throw from that position as well. Once you get up, just lose the side of the ball. 4. Terrific cricket shot. Ball was spinning into him, that allowed him to generate power. Beats extra cover comfortably. 55 runs inside the first 5.
That's high percentage cricketing shot there. Knew where the gap was. Placement was absolutely perfect. And they're continuing that momentum. 55 for 2 after 5.
हाँ भाई नहीं चाहिए तू इधर साइड में पीछे मैं आऊं कोई में पीछे कोई नहीं अभी 6 ओवर है ये बाहर प्ले होगा ना घूमना आ इधर आ जाओ
Yeah.
This is a long off. This is a long on. And a deep mid wicket. And this is supposed to be the last over of the power play. Sherawat has noticed that now. And he's asking the long on to come in. Ritik noticed that first. It took Sherawat a while. It's been that kind of a day on the field for Royal North Brothers.
It was almost about to be a no ball. Once more. Plays it late. Fielder is available, so will be a single. But again, the point we were trying to make, too much confusion out there today for the team, Royal North Brothers.
And this happens at all forms, at all levels of cricket. Just somehow it slips out from people's mind. We're hanging there. Umpires are trying to communicate something. I think they were suspecting there is an extra fielder out, but it's not. It was. Trying to just rotate a single on the onside, played that across the line. I think Sherawat was keen because it was very adjacent to the stumps.
His 2-4 looked close. But looking at the impact and looking at the trajectory, appeared to be an arm ball. That could have missed the leg stump. I think that was the decision. Reason why umpire went with that decision there.
It's pulling tight lines here. Another arm ball. Yes, from this particular end, even we saw yesterday, his first over, he bowled from this particular end with the Nuge ball, then changed the end and went to the far end. So knows for a fact that with the Nuge ball, it's just going to skid on. So I would rather bowl from the pavilion end, that is, lack of effort from that fielder inside the circle.
Anshuman looking really good on the offside. That high back lift, timing the ball really well. Has full control on his shot selections. Last 2 balls of this over, much better. Again an arm ball, plays with soft hands, Mohammad Arif. And will get a single once more. That quicker delivery, had it been slightly wider, could have again made things difficult for Anshuman, as it was already drifting down the leg. Got it easier for him to just clip it on the onside for a single.
Once again, misfield there. Could have been tight. Power play done. 59 for 2.
नहीं नहीं 1 2 3 पीछे 1 2 3 कवर पे आ जा कवर अब यहाँ पे मिड विकेट
At the end of the power play, they are just short of 60, 59 for 2. Spin from both ends. And that has been the story now. For the last 2 days, if you see, spinners have performed really well. They have been the more preferred option for most of the captains. Current run rate is 9.83, but that can go down if we can see that disciplined bowling for few overs.
Man saving a single on the onside, but he's played that a little straighter towards long on. Don't mind them having the square leg up, to be honest. To be honest, they've got way too many ideas of themselves already. I don't want them to give them even more. Just with the line that he's bowling right now, you want him to go for the sweep. You want Arif to play a low percentage shot, go across the line, and that could be either by bringing the fine leg up or the square leg up. In fact, they don't have a fine leg right now. That close-in fielder comes in quickly, gets the underarm throw, but Arif was diving back.
Is very quick to react. Got back in time, and more importantly, that dive ensured that he's inside the crease. Let's have a look once more. What exactly happened there? Again, he was just looking to take a single quickly there with soft hands, bottom hand throw, and that's why you can't see enough power on that release. And he dived in as well, so made things even more easier. But again, he has tried to play that shot a few times now in this inning just to clip it on the onside, and I think that's the reason why you can see one fielder in that position. You rightly mentioned, just to cut down the single, especially against Mohammad Arif.
Yeah, I was just trying to double on that. Get one more there for a little dab towards the square leg, fine leg region. That's been dabbed towards the short third region for a one. That's okay, because that's against the spin. And if he's taking a chance for a single there, that's fine. But if they're trying to rotate with the spin, block that too. Don't give a easy one to a good ball. That spun a mile too from way outside off.
Yes, with that length, with the spin, Anshuman wanted to clear the onside, clear that mid-wicket area. There's no one as well, so could have been a calculated shot.
Also can seriously look for a lap or a scoop. Keeper also perhaps predicting that. That's why they're moving that close-in catcher to now a more traditional 45. Having said that, bowler switches it to a line outside off. Oh dear, they're just not in sync with the field that has been given and the lengths and the lines that they're bowled. 65 for 2.
And Black Eagles will be really happy with this sort of performance. Bad deliveries being dispatched. And again, they're ensuring that run rate is around 9 and 10. And again, after 7 overs, Eagles are 65 for 2.
के भन्दैछौ 3 point 3 point
Sandwiched between the hills here, this particular ground. We are watching Royal North Brothers having no clue whatsoever what sort of a field to have, what plans they need to stick to. The score is not too bad for them. It's 65 for 2. They have just looked like a confused unit out there. Single of the first ball from Jasveer's second. Continues to bowl from the pavilion end. Here with me in the commentary box is Harshit. Harshit, they played a short-end game in the tournament. Looked like a really good unit. A unit that was really following one direction. But come this particular game, they have just had too many opinions out there. And as a result, confusion there because of the dive Sherawat put in. And as a result, Eagles have been able to get off to a really good start here.
Yes, that has been the case. That's pretty eminent if you have a look at the scorecard as well. How Royal North Brothers played their first game, and they have tried a lot of different things in here. Jasveer Sherawat, irrespective of what has happened out there, has bowled really well. But apart from that, the other bowlers, as well as you two guys were talking about earlier, captain not sticking to a certain plan. That's been played straight to the fielder there. That's good bowling. Tight bowling from the left arm spinner.
I think at some point of time, Anshuman and Arif will have to look for the lap or the scoop option, because they haven't kept a fine leg at all for the last 15-20 minutes or so, and none of these two have even attempted that shot. Once you don't show the intention, they will just keep on having the same field as they have done for Sherawat. 4 dot balls here.
Yes, it is going to such a stage that it is not easy to get runs going inside a shell, trying to break the shackles but not getting away with it.
Got to be able to change something, Harshit. Otherwise, bowlers like Sherawat will just come in, bowl their overs and leave. None for 5 in his first 2, 66 for 2, 8 done.
पार्टनर कैप्स को जल्दी बोलो ना कंटिन्यू
15 singles, 23 dots, and several movements of madness. So far in the first 8 overs of play, Tanvish Ramakant will get his 3rd over. He was also guilty of bowling a short and wide ball to end his 2nd over. Let's see if he's got his plans right against Arif here.
Off spinner brought back into the attack, just opening the face of the bat deliberately there. Mohammad Arif gets a single. Anshuman Singh has been going inside a shell on certain occasions. Will be interesting to see how he approaches. Ideal situation for him. Off spinner into the attack. Has got all the license to shift those gears. Again plays it straight back to the bowler. That is low percentage cricket.
He's just making matters worse for himself and his batting partner, to be honest. Lucky they only had one fielder saving a single on the onside. That's why they're able to rotate the strike. Had the square leg fielder been up, that was a dot ball too. Really surprising. With the ball spinning in, they're still not offering that shot. Not even a sweep, none of that. Still looking to go offside, straight to sweeper.
Yes, Babashish, if you have a look at the way how Anshuman played his previous delivery, Even before the ball was bowled, he already made up his mind. He was just going for a single. So not looking for any expensive shots. At this stage, after facing 70 deliveries, that's way too defensive.
Yeah, came out late. That's the key to that shot. Anshuman Singh, we wanted him to take on the off spinner. He's done that with a lot of safety here.
Finally, a good shot of Rice. That's a clean hit. Straight down the ground, straight as an arrow. That's been hit hard as well. Powerful shot.
And Harshit, the reason he could go late is because his initial movement was towards the offside. Waited for the ball to be released and then came out of the crease. So that's something batters can adapt. If you're going early, stepping out early, see if you can step out from a different position on the crease. 74 for 2 after 9. Third over on the trot for Shirawat. That's how he's operated for the most part of this spell. Full enough, hit straight to one of those ring fielders, back to the bowler. Dot ball.
Good start to the over. His last over just produced one run. And it was all 5 dot balls against Anshuman Singh. So that will be running through the back of his mind. So he'll be itching to be offside. That's the reason why he has looked for a single straight away.
And he's not bowling slow either, so that the ball travels quickly to those ring fielders. He knows if he bowls slow and you put a really soft touch to that, by the time the ball goes to those ring fielders, it's always a single. So he's bowling at a very, very good pace here. Shirawat nullifying the singles. I think that is smart too.
Yes, he's keeping it simple. Bowling at the right areas. This time he touched lower through the air.
Which is why the single was taken easily. He's not happy with the fielder, but that's not fielder's fault, Shirawat. It's just the rhythm with which, the pace with which you were bowling previously. Yeah, you can complain about that, but it's the slowness of the ball that allowed the single to be taken. That fielder was really closing in.
Yes, another tight over indeed from the left arm spinner Jaswant Shirawat. Only 2 runs off it. Anshuman back on strike. Flatter delivery. That is a dangerous looking shot there. That's a lot of risk involved in playing that.
So you would rather play that and not the lap?
Actually, I would go for the second option.
That's what I'm trying to point out. It's just, I have a feeling that they've just thought about that in the dugout itself, that we are not going to even attempt. Look for that shot. For 5 overs, the opposition doesn't keep a defined leg. You don't even attempt one shot towards that area. That's surprising. That's not modern T20 cricket. Top stop there from the cover fielder. One hand stop, single taken. 10 overs done, 78 for 2 are the Eagles. Now there is a right arm off spinner bowling to a right-hander from round the wicket, still without a fine leg. High quality shot indeed. Went straighter because of the line of the ball, kept his head down, deposits that one just over the side screen for a big 6.
That's on the sweet spot. That's a really quality shot from the batter. Arif there with a good looking shot. Wonderfully done. Just over the side screen. Fairly, it would have travelled over 90 meters.
We spoke about that rough patch. Rough patch just outside the right-hander's off stump. And when he was bowling over the wicket, he was hitting it more consistently. From round the wicket, even if you hit that, batter will be able to cover for it as he did on this occasion.
Yes, indeed, and that's a shot you would love to see time and again. It's a beauty.
Finally, after half an hour, or even more, a little lap that gets them 2 more.
Glad to see that shot arrive after a long time, because it was almost like the bowling team forgot there was a field position named fine leg.
I can't believe they really waited for him to go round the wicket to play that shot. That's way too safe for T20 cricket. Once again in that area, this is a lot straighter. Got to have a bigger heart as a batter, Harshit, in this format of the game.
Yes, that's exactly what the situation demands. It's not the first or second over they are bowled without a fine leg in place. It's indeed the 6th or 7th, and we haven't seen them try.
Yeah, now he's trying to do so and it's helping him. Once again, a little top edge sweep. That works too. You'll get 2 more. I understand it's more high percentage when the off spinner is bowling from round the wicket. But whenever he was bowling from over the wicket, that too, this was an option.
Yes, was definitely an option. Could have tried that earlier. But good to see them coming finally. And is now persisting something around outside off step. Oh, that's close. Perhaps might have got some bat.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. Just turn it around on the onside. Got the leading edge. But still a profitable over. Because they decided to break the monotony of that field placement. 89 for 2, 11 done. And time for drinks.
11 done, 89 for 2. That's how it stands after 11 overs. 4 bowlers used so far. Jasveer Sherawat, the left arm spinner, has been really economical. 1 wicket for the new bowler Sandeep Chetri, new bowler. Harinder and Tashveer on the expensive side.
Just in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, it's just starting to get a little overcast here. Conditions might be good for a little bit of swing if you can, which is why maybe they've gone to one of their seamers. Kishan Karki will try and see if he can get the ball seam up and get it to move.
Yes, a new bowler introduced into the attack. Captain himself, Kishan Karki. Arif and Anshuman Singh now building a partnership, building a much stronger partnership and taking their team out of a difficult situation. 11 overs, 89 for 2, run rate of over 8. Let's see how the bowling change works.
Not giving it any time to swing though. Just bowling into the surface there, Kishan. Won't be a bad ploy here. You're looking for a wicket. See if you can float it up. Conditions have changed dramatically. There's a breeze, sudden breeze that is just picked up. And from that length, it won't do much.
Yes, a quiet phase of the game where the batters are just trying to rotate, shuffle around, get those ones and twos. Bowlers trying to get through their overs, but Kishan Karki, if he can be a slight bit more aggressive to try and break this partnership, could be working well in the bowling team's favour. That's much better. That's much fuller in length, asking him to hit off the front foot.
That's the best ball he's bowled in this over. And it didn't look like that went gun barrel straight. Just the slightest bit of outward curve. Oh, that's a loose ball. That's a loose ball. Short, wide. Too easy for Arif to continue this partnership on a good note.
Yes, indeed, too easy is the word. A lot of width offered, easy pickings. Just cut that one away. Used the space he got and placed that in the gap as well. Beautiful shot from Arif. It was an easy delivery and he made full use of it. Moves on to 37. 13 runs away from his 50. Slightly better delivery and chopped on. Chopped onto the stems. That's what we were talking about here in the commentary box. Slightly fuller. Could do the magic and has done it. Finally a wicket arrives.
Yes, Harshit, it's not rocket science. Clearly it's not. That's where as a seamer you give yourself the best possible chance for the ball to deviate ever so slightly. Either vertically, horizontally, however that is. And for you to get a miss hit out of it. Terrific partnership. And eventually it's been broken. Arif goes back into the hut. He's played well. Good seam position. Looked like it did cut back in. It did cut back in from outside off, which is why it got the bottom edge. Bottom inner edge.
अन्त दाम 30 मा बस भन्दै छ लेफ्टी भाइ यो आएछ त्यही त गौल लाग्यो
Oh, that's great to see. Sajal, who was retired out, has returned.
को छ ओइ
That was the last wicket. Yes, bit of tail back in. Just a hint of swing into the right-hander, which is what we mentioned with the conditions overhead changing. It's a no ball. That was the effort ball. Wanting to get the in-swinging Yorker. I think it's just the side change that he hasn't informed the umpire. Saw that even yesterday. That's just schoolboy error.
It should not be happening at this level. At this level of cricket, that is simply not just acceptable. Because you've seen that happen once, but not twice. It shouldn't. Because you have to inform the umpire once you're changing guards. Hasn't happened at this stage.
I don't know what Sherawat is trying to ask the umpire. It's not common knowledge that the right arm bowler will go round the stumps to the left-hander. It could be matchup. It's not common knowledge. Your right arm over to the right-handed batter, and once the left-hander comes in, you then ask or tell the umpire, not ask, just inform him. I'll be switching to round the wicket. Not quite sure what this discussion is about.
Yes, a bit of a chaotic situation out there in the center, but the call was really clear. He was bowling over the wicket, then got a wicket, and now against the left-hander without informing the ump, he came around. So umpire had all the right to call that one a no ball.
At the end of it, this could just be an unnecessary delay. That's the wicket ball. Right arm over. Hint of tail back in, inside edge. Gone. Out of here. Now the next ball from round the wicket, which was called a no ball straight away. Nothing wrong with that. Unnecessary discussion from Royal North Brothers. It was Sherawat who made the query. Free hit. Change of pace that he's gone straighter. It is Sherawat who's kept it down to just one.
You're simply trying to make some hash of a face that was completely unnecessary there. And now it's good to see their smiles exchanged between Karki and the ump. 12 done. An eventful over this. 9 runs and a wicket. It is 98 for 3.
कति हो जर्सी नम्बर 11 Ball change, jersey number 11. Robin. Da, इछि. Da, fine. ए जानु नि तपाई. स्क्वायर पट्टि अलिक स्क्वायर पट्टि. फाइन जानुस् त. Right arm round. Ball coming right arm round. जो चाली के आउनु पर्यो. कम्ती.
We saw Robin Limbu bowl yesterday. Has a bag of tricks in terms of his release point and the lengths. Starts off with shorter delivery. It's just on leg stump. They get one for that. Sajal needs to be careful about his running between the wickets from here on in.
Yes, Babashish, I believe Robin Limbo is a very smart operator. He's someone who looks at the conditions and bowls strictly according to that. So, as you were talking about earlier, he would have definitely had a look at the rough patch. And his bowling at the end that favors him. And with the left-hander on strike, you could think this could be a ploy in favor of the bowler.
Don't rule out the seam-up ball. That's all I'll need to tell him. He's actually bowling off spin. He's bowling off spin round the wicket almost. Robin was not collecting that throw because it was too quick. Right. Just towards one side of the ground. There are clouds flocking in. It's still relatively clear skies on top of us, just in front of us, over the long off boundary. You can see clouds fluttering in.
Yes, Babashish, he has persisted with that length as well, which is pretty much interesting to see.
Slogged away, should just be one. Good relay effort to get the throw in time. That's what you want when, even if you're not picking up wickets, if you're able to just keep the lid on and make them desperate about playing a big shot every now and then, you got a chance too.
Yes, that's what you need to do at this stage. Back of the length deliveries, they are not actually creating a lot of threat. Yes, you can go with your over just conceding 4 or 5. But that's not what the situation demands. You need to be aggressive. Tosses it up. There was a chance for the wicket keeper. Not the easiest of ones.
I wonder if that was a seamer ball that swung away. That looked like it moved and moved late.
Yes, we'll have a look at that closely in the next over. Oh, that's a misfield. That's a poor effort. Yes, the ball got faster, hitting the practice pitches, but still, the fielder could have done much better there. 5 runs coming from that over. 13 done. It's 103 for 3. Oh, what a shot. First ball of the over. Lands in between those two fielders, deep mid wicket and square leg. Kishan Kirky got the important wicket of Arif. Bowled really well in the last over. Yes, there was a bit of a hesitation going on. But apart from that, these two have done a good job. Has been a very good partnership after losing a wicket. Sajal and Anshuman getting through the overs. And also at the other end, if you have a look at how bowlers have dealt with the business in the last few, they have gone ultra defensive. They haven't really tried to sneak in and capitalize on the situation after actually getting another wicket. And to talk you through with his insights from this game, I have with me Mr. Ritik Dhanani. Welcome back, Ritik.
Thank you, Harshit. Just over 100 after 13.
Tries to play it finer. Wicketkeeper stops it. But still they'll get a run in form of leg byes. As we've already seen 140 being defended in the first match. But again, the conditions were very different, I'll say. For them to score a total that they can defend, they have to go over 160. And they should, with the position they are in. They have crossed 100, almost 6.5 overs from here. 160, 170, even 180 is possible. And if that's the kind of bowling we are going to see, it's going to be slightly more easier as well.
Clearly, Ritik, from where they are right now, we are just into the 14th over and they're 106 for 3. They will be disappointed if they're scoring something less than 160, 165. Should only look up from there. That goes down the leg side. Good effort from the wicket keeper. Could have been 5 wides. And he just got one of his hands in time there. Something that Kishan Kirky needs to work on, bowling extras. He's bowled one in the last over, this one too. And extras are not going to help. Has been a good partnership. After losing the wicket of Arif, Anshuman and Sajil trying to take the game away completely from Royal North Brothers. Tucked on the onside for an easy single.
That's one more run added there in the scorecard. And talking about the current equation as well, Sajal and Anshuman both scoring just around 100, 110 in terms of strike rate. Sajal being even lower than 100. So that's again an area where they need to improve a bit. Wide again, missed by the keeper. But fortunately it will not go behind him. Stays there. One more run in the form of extras. Already 3 wides in this over. 1 run in the form of leg byes. So too many extras also we have seen in this innings. And that will always make things easier for the opposite team.
Yes, it's just ordinary performance here from Kishan Kirky. He's bowling far too many extras. We all know the kind of quality he comes up with. He's an experienced campaigner, yes. But with the ball so far, he's having an off day. Apart from getting the wicket of Arif. Once again, now that's an easy picking for the batter. The ball is running away. Hasn't timed it perfectly. That's the reason why he can't get a boundary out of it. It was a poor delivery, yes. But they have taken 3 runs. That's good running between the wickets.
He's trying to use the pace of that delivery. Was just enough to play it over the ring field. Fielder giving it a chase. Stops it in the middle. By the time they already completed 3. Projected score from here is 163. And that is bare minimum for Eagles now. With the kind of position they are in. Flicked away on the onside. And with so many extras and already a triple coming on the previous delivery. They can take singles now to finish this over. If you look at this specific over. You'll see already 9 runs off it. 1 more delivery to go. So without taking any extra risk, they have easily gotten 9-10 runs off this over. Quicker one beats the batter off the length. And that will be the end of the over as well. 9 off it. 113 for 3 after 14. Black Eagles.
किशन आपको इनो ग्लोव्स भुट्न थियो
If you have a look at how the runs went in the first 5 overs, 55 run came. In the next 2 phases, they haven't been really able to get going. If you look at the phase 6 to 10, they've only managed to squeeze in 26 runs. There's a lot below par. Otherwise, from where they were, they could have actually gotten to somewhere around 130, 135 at least. but still got enough time to recover. But it's going to be important to try and get 8 or even more runs from here every over.
ओ आकु पिछाडी जाऊ न एकजना जाऊ 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 जाऊ
It's going to be Robin Limbu to continue. First over was good, but it was a defensive kind of an approach from the leggy. In fact, the off spinner. Would be interesting to see him bowling a lot fuller than how he normally does. Let's see. Goes fuller. The timing is good. Has he got the distance? Yes, he has. This time from the bat of this man has travelled the distance. Goes for a mighty maximum.
Anshuman has played some good shots, and especially with that backlift, with that high backlift. Strong bottom hand, fuller delivery, and more importantly, the pace at which Limbo is bowling. Once a batter times it, he'll easily clear it, whether there's a fielder or not. 6 off the first. Fuller again. This time he goes over long off. Even better, even beautiful. Back-to-back sixes. One over the long on fielder, the other slightly flatter over long off. But even better.
Ritik, that for me has been the shot of the day. That's a beautiful looking shot. Have a look at the flow there. Full face of the bat. Going through with the flow. And has played that flat batted for a flabbergasting maximum. Majestic shot there. Through the surface, straight down the ground. The non-striker just ducked in time. And now he's just 1 run away. What a knock this has been. Let's see how the things have changed here.
He's accelerating at the right time. He has passed the difficult phase. Now he's well set. And just entering into the death overs. It's the right time to put the pedal on the accelerator. Two sixes and a single. Now Sajal on strike. He'll be looking to get a single and bring Anshuman back on strike. Comes down the track, hits it back. And I think little early in terms of his advancement towards the ball. And that's why Robin was smart enough to drag the length shot.
Exactly. Another quicker delivery arm ball. And exactly what the doctor ordered. Sajal gets a single. And this has been an expensive over. A very good one for the batting side. We were talking about the need of getting a necessary push. And that has come from the bat of Anshuman Singh. 49 is batting on from just 35 deliveries now. Those two sixes have made a glorious impact. Now cuts that one. Cuts that one away. Is that going for a boundary? Yes, it is. What a way to bring up his 50. 50 in some style coming from the bat of Anshuman Singh. This has been a wonderful knock from the right hander.
Rightly mentioned, 131 for 3. Anshuman Singh scoring majority of the runs. And what a way to get to his 50. 2 sixes in this over already. And now finishes it with a square cut for 4 runs. Perfect placement. A lot of confidence clearly visible in his batting now.
One for 18. hasn't been at his best. But let's see, will this over produce something different? Sajal back on strike. Slower delivery. Straight down the ground. Does the right thing. Gives a strike back to the informed batter, Anshuman. What a knock this has been from Anshuman, Ritik. Really enjoyed how he accelerated at the right time. 36 ball, 4 boundaries, 3 sixes, strike rate of about 150.
He looks like a complete player. All the shots in his book, can play according to the situation. Comes ahead, just plays it along the ground. And there's a finesse in his batting. Looks very stylish with that backlift. And has been equally effective as well.
Yes, he's got a steady hit. A firm head position, doesn't try to overhit the ball, just time it on most of the occasions. That's sliced, but straight to the fielder there. That's a good shot. Now Sajal is also starting to look really good. That's a very good sign for Black Eagles.
And it's going to be even more helpful and even more better for Black Eagles if Sajal can do similar of what Anshuman Singh did in the last over. Comes ahead, plays it towards the mid-wicket region, the Cows Corner area, just for a single. And he wanted to convert the length because he knew that length will be very difficult to be played from the crease. So he advanced, but still I think Kishan did a good job. Bowled it even shorter, away from the reach, away from the slot. Gone deep inside the crease, wide Yorker successfully executed there by Kishan. Another dot.
Yes, this has been a far better over from Kishan Karki. Now actually going with his full potential. Initially in the previous over as well, he was struggling to find his rhythm. But now far better in terms of his executions. Around the wicket, another change of pace. Hits it straight to the fielder. A good run there. Stolen a single. So 5 runs only coming off that over. 16 done. Black Eagles are 136 for 3.
So again, Robin Limbo to bowl this over. Beg your pardon. It's not Robin, it's someone else who is coming in. I think it's Varinder Singh, who has been little expensive in the first spell, but now he can definitely make some difference here. Because looking at him, looks as if he's a brilliant bowler, but because of too much confusion in the first half, there were a lot of field changes, there was a lot of things happening out there in the middle, because of which I think he was comparatively expensive than other bowlers. 33 in 2 overs. Places it on the up. Over the ring field, there is a fielder. Ball travels to him and he makes a fumble. But doesn't make a big difference. Look at where the keeper is going to collect the ball. There is no backup probably. There was one fielder, but that could have given chance to these two batters to take extra run. Still, they've taken only one, and I think the reason behind Anshuman wanted to be on strike.
Yes, straight away after the single, he was telling to his partner not to go for that second because he really wanted to be on strike. 55 of 38. So, buckle up your seatbelts. We could be in for a lot more big hitting shots from this man. Anshuman, you've seen how he unleashed against Limbo. That's when he actually started to hit the big ones, and ever since then he has been looking really good. And now batting on 55 with almost 4 overs left in this innings, we could be looking at a big total. Scoops it. Adjust that in the end. That's a boundary. That's a clever shot. Adjusted in the last frame of a second and still managed to get in a boundary.
What do we call this shot? Reverse scoop over the keeper. But look at the placement there. How closely he was watching the ball, and will get 4 runs. And you rightly mentioned, a lot of action coming up in the next few deliveries, in the next few overs. Already that current run rate almost touching 7. Flicks away. And is there a fine leg fielder? I don't think so. Back-to-back boundaries, not the best delivery. There's no one protecting that region. Probably you should have avoided that line. Onto the pads, to the set batter. He'll definitely not miss out. Almost like a free hit for him.
Yes, wrong ball gets the treatment. Back-to-back boundaries. This time a lot fine. The first shot was a shot of masterclass from Anshuman Singh. Nothing wrong with the delivery. But this one was an absolute gift offered on a plate by Varinder Singh. So his expensive spell continues. 42 runs conceded already going into his third. 16.3 overs, 145 for 3. We could be looking at a big total. Anshuman Singh, what an innings this has been. As my co-commentator Ritik was mentioning, has got shots all over the ground. Not just 3 or 4 shots he plays. And he plays it pretty well as well. Oh, that's over the covers this time. That's even better. Just one bounce over the ropes. Goes past the boundary ropes just like a tracer bullet.
Places it over. And there you go, stamp of authority on that shot. And now he's looking in red hot form. You'll see every delivery that's pitched close to him, he is dispatched for runs. Where's the next one coming? Full toss, misses out. And I think he went 2 across to play that shot. Had he played it in that same direction, could have got a better timing. But nonetheless, 3 boundaries, 2 singles. Makes it a very profitable over for Eagles. 14 runs off it. Varinder Singh almost about to get to his 50. 47 in just 17 deliveries.
This almost becomes like a free hit for Sajal. He can go after it. Can also try to get 1 or 2. Change of pace. Completely deceived the batter there. Tried to play an awkward looking shot. Missed it. So an expensive over from Varinder Singh comes to an end. 17 done. It's exactly 150 for 3.
स्क्वायर के
Last 3 overs. 150 up. Can we see the first 200 of this tournament? Chances are there. We definitely can see the first century as well. I just hope, I don't want to jinx it. any of those two things. Slower one, he picks it up nicely. And just over the fielder. It looks very easy on the eyes, but it takes a lot of experience and practice to play these kind of shots. Start this over as well with the maximum.
What a shot that one is from Anshuman Singh. He has played that with a lot of authority there. Have a look at that. Pick the bounce out of it. Just played that beautifully over the field. He stood no chance. Another slower delivery. This time gets the better of the batter. Sandeep Chedri. I was expecting this from the senior campaigner. This was going to be a tight neck-to-neck contest, and this time it's Sandeep Chedri who has the last laugh. Gets the better of Anshuman Singh.
Sticks with that slower delivery, changes the length, bowls close to the body. And as a set batter, in this time, anyone would have gone for another big hit. Anshuman Singh thought this is also in this slot. But an exceptional innings from this player comes to an end. Anshuman Singh scoring 74 of 44 deliveries. Have a look. Back of the hand, even more difficult for a batter to pick if you compare it with the off cutter. Misses out. You miss, I hit, says the bowler. 156 for 4. Eagles. Mendo Bhutia. The captain has walked out at number 6. Batted really well even yesterday. Scored 24 of 12. Ideal situation for him to bat. And he's taken the onus of finishing the innings.
Looks like he's got a brand new shoe out there. And it'll be interesting to see how these two senior campaigners are up against each other. Sandeep Chhetri, years of experience behind him, and has bowled that seam up, beautifully bowled. It was good with the new ball as well. When all the others went for plenty, he was there restricting the total less than conceding 6 runs and over. So good so far. Considered as 6, but came back well. Mendo Bhutia, as Ritik was mentioning, scored 24 of just 12, striking at 200 in the last game. So today, if he can repeat the similar heroics, his team could be off to a very good total. Nicely bowled straight to the fielder, going for a quick single. They've made it towards the end.
Seven runs off this over. And Sajal must be thinking, how can I convert this into a 12-13 run over? 2 deliveries left. He'll be finding ways to get a boundary at least. And if you look, third man is inside, fine leg is inside. So again, you are expecting a slower one. If he goes ahead with that field setting, if he wants to surprise, probably yes, a quicker one can come in. Fielder from deep backward point has come in. Should be close to the body. And places it towards the fielder inside the ring. One more run taken. So this has turned out to be a good over, even after getting hit for a maximum. If you can restrict under 8, under 9, I think as a bowler you will be happy.
Yes, indeed. If you consider a 6 of the first ball and restricting them something under 10 run at this stage towards the back end of the innings, log overs, you have done a phenomenal job. Now that's a wide. Last thing that he wanted to bowl there. A wide down the leg side. Will have to reboot once again. We'll be hoping this doesn't turn out to be a boundary or a 6. Cancelling all the hard work he has done.
And I think he's changing his stance. He's shifted more towards the leg stump. And I think he wants to take advantage of that fine region. Because even I think on the previous delivery he missed out. He had an opportunity of hitting it for 4 runs. Fine leg was inside. Let's see where he goes. He can go towards fine leg. Goes across, change of pace. Works out really well. And I think that was a premeditated shot by Mendo. Ends the 18th, 159 for 4.
अंदर रहना पीछे रहना लेफ्ट में 0-2 सुन इसको अंदर रख वो पीछे हो गया ये पीछे ये पीछे ये पीछे
भित्र हजुर आउँछ नि पानी त आउँछ नि
नहीं आप उधर आओ ना अपनी एउटा छ पॉइंट पे आओ पॉइंट पे
तीनटा कट हट्यो
हां
इधर हेर्दैन क्या
अल्टरनेट लेफ्ट आएगा लेफ्ट के लिए ओवर राइट आएगा उसके बाद हां हां कोई दिक्कत नहीं थोड़ा बाहर रहियो किशन किशन थोड़ा बाहर आओ
Jasveer to bowl the penultimate over. Comes down the track, Sajal. And this is the contest, and this is a place where Sajal has to take the onus now. Against Jasveer to try and make this over at least into a 10-run over. And take the team to 170, and probably you can then have a look on the last over from whether you can get to 180 plus.
Yeah, should be looking at 180 plus from here. It's just 20 runs from here will get them past 180. From where they are, Sajal set batter out there at the non-striker's end should be trying to get his team over the line. On the other hand, Mindu Bhutia strongly favors the onside, just for being a clever bowler. Bowls it outside off. Has got a very good idea where and how to execute somebody like Mindu.
And I think he's played that shot too many times on the onside, and he's getting predictable. And at this level, bowlers are really smart, and they get to understand what are the areas you are missing. Slightly fuller, that's high in the air. Fielder under it, takes the catch. And that's what we were talking about. This was a tossed up delivery, slower in nature. And that's why you can say the ball went up in the air, didn't got the distance, only elevation. Another wicket, first one for Jasveer.
Yes, Mindu was expecting a lot quicker delivery. Committed to that shot a lot earlier than you would have anticipated. And a good catch from the man at long on. Jasveer gets a wicket. Has been bowling really well today. And now finally gets one. Mindu Bhutia couldn't contribute much today. Goes for one.
Slightly.
Tanveer is the new batter. Tanveer Alam. And just look at the economy of Jasveer. 3.3 overs, only 10 runs, where the conditions have been favourable for the batters. And has taken a wicket as well.
She's bowled really well. Initially in the middle overs and now in the death, doing a phenomenal job. There's one into the surface. That's always a good option once you're bowling towards the back end of an innings, even as a spinner. Once you're pitching the ball short and bowling it into the surface with the spin, becomes a little difficult and tricky. Again, they're straight up in the air. There is a man coming under it, takes it comfortably. That's a soft dismissal once again after a quicker delivery. Bowls a floated up one and gets another one. Second wicket for Jasveer.
And it looks as if we are seeing an action replay of that dismissal of Mindu Bhutia. Again, fuller delivery, trying to play that similar shot and targeting that mid-wicket boundary. Just didn't got the timing there. So a comeback from Royal North Brothers in the penultimate over. Only 1 run and 2 wickets. Tanveer Alam walks back on a silver duck.
Future generation watching the game closely. They are all terrific cricketers, futures of Sikkim. They have plenty of options.
Left arm round, fast ball.
Young kids, the future, watching the game closely. Last ball. Just tucks it through the onside, going for a quick single. Direct hit. That will not make any difference. 19 done, 161 for 6. Brilliant spell comes to an end. 4 overs, 11 runs and 2 wickets for Jasveer Sherawat.
Over. Where is ball? Oh, last over.
Let's have a look once more on that replay of run out. Had he landed the bat in time? Yes, I think, and that's been the decision as well, will be a not out. Landed the bat just in time. He was not dragging the bat inside, but still will be not out. That's the end of the 19th, 161 for 6. And this is now the last over of the innings. Probably 10 runs short than what would we have expected. 161 for 6. From the position they were in, should have been around 170, but still a good total on the surface. Binoy on strikes, Sandeep Shetty bowling the last over. Fuller one into the block hole and will be a single. And I think Sajal, it's better for him to be on strike. And that was the question we were having even in the previous over. He got a single of that, and after that, was not able to get back on strike.
It has been a long time. He has been off the strike, watching all the drama from the other end. Now it's high time he should take some extra risk and get his team to something over 175. 27 of 30. Had enough balls hanging around. Beautifully bowled into the block hole. They've run the first one hard. With the covers inside the circle, it will be just a single. So still 4 balls left in this over. And we could be looking at somewhere around 172, 173.
Yes, psychologically, it's a different impact altogether. If you can go over 170. Was a slower full toss, played it over the ring field. Poor delivery. Binoy knew where the gap were, and he has placed it right in that boundary again.
Yes, he was looking for an off cutter there, trying to bowl that one in around that good length area. Missed out on its line and length completely. Error committed and goes for a boundary. So 167 on the scorecard now. As you said, something over 170 will make some significant difference. Played with soft hands there. Gets a single and brings Sajal back on strike.
Students away from touching 170. Probably Sajal will be thinking of getting a maximum or a boundary. Has to pick the length nicely. Will be eyeing that onside if it's a change of pace. Because looking at the field set here, he can go with that delivery because third man and fine leg both are inside. Probably was a full pace delivery, and that's the reason why he has been driven for 4 runs. Wanted to bluff the batter, bowled a quicker one, and just pure timing on that shot from Sajal on the offside. Have a look once more. It was a cutter, but probably with a normal pace. There was not a change of pace delivery. So with that boundary, they have crossed that barrier of 170. 172 on the board. Last ball remaining.
Important contribution this from Sajal. Never actually really had to look for a lot of big shots because at the other end Anshuman was batting beautifully. Another fuller length delivery that goes past the edge and will race away for a boundary. That's even better. Back-to-back boundaries. That is a thickish outside edge, deliberate from the batter, and ends the innings with a boundary.
I think that's the problem of having that field set. If your third man is inside, and if you bowl anything quicker, any faint tickle will race away for a boundary. That was the risk that he took, and he went for 4. 2 back-to-back boundaries to finish. 176 on the board for Eagles, and they'll be really happy with their performance. Have a look on the batting card. 37 from Arif, 36 from Sajal, 74 from Anshuman Singh was the highlight of the first innings. And few small contributions from other players as well. And that's the bowling card. Sandeep Chetri got 2 wickets. Economy just under 9, 8.75. 2 wickets for Jasprit Sherawat. He was the pick of the bowlers. Economy of 2.75. And a wicket for Kishan Karki. 16 extras in that innings. And that is the now target for the second innings here for Royal North Brothers to win their second game. 177 required. We'll take a breather and we'll be back.